Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sanson and Stephanie Phillips for another episode of Veterans in Politics. Today we have Kerri Maxey, Clark County District Court Judge, Family Division, Department N. But before we get to Judge Maxey, Ms. Phillips.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And thanks to all of our sponsors. We have Simplify Heating and Cooling. Their website is callsimplify.com, callsimplify.com. We also have Michelle Romero. She is Henderson's mayor and she's running for re-election. Her website is votemichelleromero.com, votemichelleromero.com. We also have Angelo Carvalho. He is running for Board of Regents, District 3. And his website is carvalho4nevada.com. And that's the number 4, carvalho4nevada.com. And also our newest sponsor is Cody K. Whipple. He is running for Congressional District 4. His website is codykforcongress.com, codykforcongress.com. Get in touch with him. Also, don't forget to grab your copy of Steve's book, How to Navigate Nevada's Family Court System. If you are a litigant without an attorney and you can't afford one, grab your copy on Amazon. It is $14.99. This is a self-help book and it will help you navigate that system. Also, we have a merch store. It's vipimerch.com, vipimerch.com. Jump on there and see all the fun stuff. And also grab your Valentine's Day ball tickets. They are on sale. We have extra early bird tickets this month and next month only at $99. You are going to save a whole bunch of money. The regular price is $125. So you're going to want to grab them. There's a limited supply of these less expensive tickets. So get on our Facebook pages and you can get all the information about that. We're excited about that. It's February 7th of 2026. And also for my rant, it's not really a rant, but we were down court observing today. And I think a lot of people saw what I testified about yesterday in front of the county commission about the new courthouse. I don't think that we need to spend $700 million on a new courthouse, nor have 18 new judges. And it was reported to us by an insider at the RJC who's worked there for 20 years about some judges don't have full calendars and they don't have as many cases as other judges. And so I called that out, and specifically one of those judges was Judge Bluth. So when Steve and I were at the courthouse today, she texted Steve and said to come see her. And I just want to give her a shout out and say thank you. We appreciate the time and the conversation today. Thanks for calling us up there and explaining things to us. We are going to be finding out more information and we are going to get that out to the public. So I just want to say thank you to Judge Bluth for that transparency, because the testimony I gave yesterday, if that generates conversation from some of our judges to us that we can relate to the public and it generates transparency, we love it. And that is great.
Judge Maxey.
Mr. Sanson.
Thank you for returning back. It's been, what was the last time you were here?
I think almost like a year ago. I don't remember the date. I just remember it was hot, like it is
before
today.
The election.
Yeah, it was before
right
the
before
election.
the
It was during the campaign. I was on the campaign trail. It was after I got your endorsement, and then you had me come back for an interview.
And you just ran. Now you got to run again.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So we have to go through the same routine because, there's different viewers.
Correct. Okay.
So please give us your bio.
Oh,
Well, at the time you ran, you were not a judge, right?
I was not a judge.
Now you're a judge.
Now I'm a judge.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's a new bio.
Okay, that's a new bio. Now I'm a judge. I work in Department N, and I do domestics, which is basically family divorces, custody cases, termination of parental rights. But before that, just a little bit about me. I was born and raised in a really small town in southern Utah. My graduating class was 27 kids, 23 original from kindergarten. And I was one of those 23 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. So getting that small town
vibe.
Well, it's really ethics. It's that small town, growing up in a small town.
The culture.
It is a culture. Everybody knew what everybody was doing. You could not get away with anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so
everybody was in your business.
Everybody, yeah. But that's okay. I mean, that was good because it was a village that raised these children in this small town. And that's what I think made me successful,
Mhm.
is because of that small town grit that I got.
So, since you first took the bench until now,
Mm-hmm.
what have you learned? And did your mindset change towards the judicial system in any way, shape, or form? Now that you're on the other side of that
Yes.
bench?
So, first of all, this profession, this job is not somebody for the faint of heart. You have to be dedicated. There's so much work to be done. So much work. That's what I learned. I didn't realize that it was a lot of work. There's this perception, oh, you're a judge.
Mhm.
You don't have to do anything. You know, you get to leave the office at 3:00. You get to take 3-hour lunches. You know, I go in the office at 7 a.m. I try to leave at 4 because that's when my brain starts shutting down. But there's times where I'm not leaving until 6. I work every day, Saturdays and Sundays. I work
Wow.
every single day preparing.
Don't burn yourself out.
Well, and that's the thing. If I was going to burn myself out, I would be working 16 hours a day. But there's a point in time where I'm like, okay, I have to step away. And so I step away and I leave the office. I go home. I like to read fiction. So I get lost in fiction stories. But I do work on the weekends, because if I didn't work on the weekends, I would be working a long time on the weekdays.
What do you think? There's no showers in the courthouse. I think they should. I think when you guys make
That was random.
I think when you guys make the new courthouse, wherever that's going to be, put some showers in there for these judges that are dedicated to the job.
That came up during our trip down to RJC, and when we were in the chambers there, and there is no showers, and sometimes judges work late or have to come in early, or whatever it is. So
They want to bring a change of clothes and take a shower, and I don't blame them. I'm with that.
My office doesn't have a bathroom.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean,
you don't have your own in your chamber?
No,
You have
okay.
to use the community?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's okay.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Well, this is family court.
This
She's
is
down at the old
We're
building.
at the
Oh, she's at the
RJC.
old
We're
building.
Yeah,
we're so compacted on top of each other. There's really not much room.
You know what? You don't have a restroom, and
It's okay.
in your office, and you don't have a jury box in your courtroom.
No, I don't.
Family court does need to be revamped, and we probably need some more judges in the family court.
We
would
could have
say.
more judges. There
Yeah.
could also be more. Well, let's think about this. When a family files for divorce, if they have kids, I automatically send them to family mediation to mediate time with the children, the custody. But there's no automatic mediation for division of property. If there was that, if we had more mediators, more programs for mediation to prevent a diversion, it would be a diversion from coming to the courtroom. That would lessen the caseload.
Yeah.
So that might be an option that could be thought of by the county if because it is expensive to have more judges, because you have more staff you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You could also hire more law clerks. More law clerks helping the judges would also alleviate the caseload that the judges have. I mean, but more judges would be helpful too. So
You guys need a brand new courthouse.
yes,
Yeah.
I think we have asbestos. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't be surprised. That courthouse been there a long time, and it has some bad memories for many people. You need a brand new courthouse. The technology needs to be updated. Some courtrooms have one screen when people are doing Zoom, and the judge sees it, but nobody else can see it. And I think that's bad.
My courtroom keeps losing power.
Look at that.
We keep losing power. I've
It
had
was shortage. It was
Mhm.
short somewhere.
something.
Yeah.
It keeps losing power. Which then everything goes down. You don't have
Oh my gosh.
jabs. You don't
No
have
Zoom.
no Zoom, nothing to make
Wow.
a record with, and so you just have to stop and wait for it to get
How often
fixed.
does that happen?
Right now it's good. Where's wood? It's
Who-
good.
Who is in charge of that stuff? Where's the maintenance?
It's it's like the breakers just flip all the time, and so then it goes down. We have to call maintenance. The maintenance turns the breaker back on. They go through everything. Do you have anything plugged in you shouldn't have plugged in? Like a fan. You can't have fans going on in the courtroom or heaters.
That's why that courthouse needs to go and put new wiring in.
Yes.
Go ahead, Ms. Phillips.
I always ask this of family court judges because this is something that just irks me. When you guys put out court orders and you tell somebody you got to pay child support and that person doesn't pay child support and they get away with it for years, how do you enforce your court orders when someone is habitually just ignoring them and they don't care what it says and they're not going to pay and they have the ability to pay? Do you throw them in jail? What do you do with them?
That is quite the double sword to throw them in jail. So a lot of times the threat of jail is enough. A lot of times if you threaten them, they'll start making payments. When they realize that you can give them 25 days in Clark County Detention Center, they start making payments. However, one of the things you have to think about is if this person is not paying child support and then you give them 25 days, they're going to lose their job.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just creating that cycle. Also, you have to think about when you put somebody in CCDC, who's paying for that?
Mm-hmm. Taxpayers.
We pay for it. Mm-hmm. And from my understanding, it's $250 a night.
Oh, went up.
Mm-hmm. So that's quite a cost for taxpayers to pay on somebody who's just not paying child support. What I like to do is I will garnish their wages. There's no question. Well, their wages are garnished. And I do that order. I give it, we send it to the employer and it's easier that way. That's that. Nothing you can.
There's so many that ignore, the kids are supposed to be brought here at a certain time and the other parent doesn't adhere to that. And there's fighting and all of that. I just wondered we hear it all the time, and judges, a lot of them seem to be lax with their orders. Doesn't mean anything because there's really no consequence and people, they suffer for it.
I agree.
Yeah.
However, a lot of times the people don't even know the consequences. I've gotten to the point where when a litigant comes in, I'm like, do you understand the consequences if you don't follow my rules?
Mm-hmm.
And they know, and they'll spill it off. And I'm like, okay. A lot of it is hurt feelings. These parents have so many hurt feelings. And that's all they're doing is they're using the court process to air their hurt feelings or get back at that person that hurt their feelings. And they're not paying child support because their feelings are hurt. They're not doing visitation because their feelings are hurt. They're using the children as a weapon because their feelings are hurt. Mm-hmm. I've been kind of feel like my courtroom is therapy.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to be.
Yeah.
So when you have cases where there's a CPS caseworker involved and the parents, there's the CPS worker is being threatening or abusing their power or, treating the parents poorly, and they're biased against these parents because maybe they have this opinion that they hurt their kids, but some parents, they're innocent. If you have a case where the parents are innocent, they've not been charged, there's nothing conclusive, but yet you have a caseworker who is being abusing their power against these parents, but then they're favoring the placement. How do you navigate that? How is it equal?
I don't have those cases. So I have not had to navigate that.
Nothing is brought up as far as any CPS worker like that in your cases?
No, that's dependency. I have domestic. So it's just divorces, custody, termination of parental rights.
You have, 16 years with the public defender's office and juvenile division. Why wouldn't you hear those cases?
Because there we have our chief judge that assigns the cases, and I'm assigned to domestic.
Assign those cases? I mean, it makes sense because that's your background.
That is
That's her
Who's
background.
the chief judge over there?
of the family court or of
Yeah.
the whole.
Is it Gibson?
Yeah, Gibson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, when I was an attorney and I was in minor guardianship, we at Legal Aid Center of Southern Nevada, we actually blew the whistle on the hidden foster care problem that we have here in Nevada. The hidden foster care is when CPS uses guardianship to divert their cases, and they would actually tell the parents and it would always be the grandparents mostly, that if the grandparent doesn't file for guardianship, we will take your child and place them in foster care. So the district attorney's office didn't even know about this because it was before they would even make any referral to the district attorney's office for a complaint to be filed. It was, they would get a referral, they would interview the family, and then they'd be like, okay, we're going to place the children with grandma and grandpa, and grandma and grandpa are going to file for guardianship. If they don't, we're going to then take the children and place them in foster care. But by doing this, grandma and grandpa were then not getting the resources that the CPS courtroom, the dependency courtroom, can give these grandparents who are on fixed income, trying to raise these kids. But if the placement would have been through dependency, then the grandparents would have gotten assistance from the government to raise the kids. So that was the issue that I came across when I was dealing with CPS.
They're probably still doing that.
Yes. I don't know if they are, because I haven't been doing minor guardianship, but
Sounds like one particular case that we're involved in.
that's
right
a
now.
possibility. It was brought to Judge Gibson's attention, and there was talk about creating a specialty court to handle those kind of cases. I don't know where that's at.
But I find it unusual that your background is juvenile and you're not working in juvenile
No, I'm
as
not.
a judge in the courthouse. I mean, you should match people up to their strengths, to make it go a lot more fluently, because that's your strength, right?
Correct.
You
Juvenile
16
laws.
years?
16, well,
Why? I mean,
19 years juvenile.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you should be doing in family. I mean, who am I, right? But it just makes
Coming
sense.
on the show, we'll ask him when he comes.
Well, here, can I, in my defense and in Gibson's defense, I think I'm doing a really good job in domestics. And I think the reason why I'm doing a good job is because I have that experience representing those children. And I don't know of any domestic judge that has won, but she's now doing dependent delinquency, but that has my experience representing children. I go in that courtroom and those children are at my heart of my decision because I've represented them. And I think I bring a different perspective to domestics that is needed.
Yeah.
So I'm happy doing domestics. I'm learning new law. I find it challenging. And I really think I'm helping these families in crisis.
So from the time you took the bench until now, how did your mindset change and how you view the judicial system?
Yeah.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, that is a loaded
And
question.
did they finally put your picture up and give you a robe?
Well, I'm getting my picture taken.
You haven't even got that yet?
No. That's my fault. That's my fault. That's not the county's fault.
Okay.
That's my
Oh
fault.
my gosh.
You want me to go in there and knock some people around for you?
It's my fault. I was trying to grow my hair out.
Oh.
That's the whole reason. I was trying to grow my hair out. I thought maybe not the short hair would be
You
a
look
difference.
lovely just
Thank
the
you.
way you are.
Yeah.
So that's the whole reason. It was me. It's not the county.
Okay, sorry. Now you can go back to what did you ask? I'm kidding.
Oh, your mindset. How did it differ from the time you first took the bench until now?
Well, let's talk about before I took the bench. Before I took the bench, my mindset was, these judges don't know anything.
I love it.
I like a straight
That's
shooter.
funny. Yeah.
Now that I've taken the bench,
They really don't know nothing.
no, now it's, these attorneys don't know anything.
Oh,
It's
Not the
flipped.
attorneys don't
Yeah,
know
now
anything.
these attorneys don't know anything. So that's basically what's changed. Yeah.
So how do you feel when at the end of the day when you do your cases? How do you feel?
Ooh. I take a lot of the cases home in my heart. They sit with me, and I just think about them.
And that brings me to my next question. Do you get overwhelmed sometimes, maybe, when these cases, and is there any type of outlet for judges to go and talk to a counselor or psychologist or some neutral party to, get a one-on-one and better understand how to maneuver through different cases and things and stuff of that nature? Because talking to a counselor is a private thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does the court or the county give you that opportunity to go and talk to somebody?
I'm sure we have that opportunity through the insurance that's given to us by the county.
Okay. Do any of the judges utilize
I don't
that?
I don't know.
Well, I guess you wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
They
Because of
probably don't
HIPAA-
want to because
HIPAA law.
they don't want people to know.
They don't want the scrutiny.
They know. And how do they know that it's completely
It should be. It's
confidential?
a HIPAA law violation.
Well, I understand,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and then they could sue. I mean, the judges could sue if somebody leaked their personal information out
but
like
the
that.
damage is already done. They would.
Well,
they
could
already
sue
have the
for a lot
knowledge.
then. Call Paul Potter.
Yeah. Or trafficker. So, what do you say to those people, especially in family court, that you should have children and have that experience, or be a mom or be a dad, because that gives you more insight as a judge if you're a parent? What do you say to those people if some judges don't have kids and your perspective is different? What do you say to those people?
Well, I'm one of those judges that don't have children, but I'm an aunt. I've got 4 nieces, 3 nephews, a great niece, and a great nephew.
You have fur babies.
I do, and I have fur babies. But just because I don't have children doesn't mean I don't cherish a family, and I don't cherish that motherhood and fatherhood. That is a constitutional right, and I feel that it's my duty to protect that constitutional right. And not only do the parents have that constitutional right, that child has a constitutional right to be raised by their parents. And a lot of people don't realize how important that relationship is. And I do my best to protect that relationship. I don't think you have to have children to protect that relationship. And I'm not one to sit and tell a parent how to parent a child.
Yeah.
As long as you're not abusive, you're not neglectful, you provide all food, clothing, shelter, education, medical necessities. Who am I to tell you how to raise a child?
What cases so far has been challenging for you?
All of them. All of them.
Have any been overturned?
No, I haven't had. I've only had one appeal filed against me. It was on a temporary order, so you can't appeal on temporary orders. But so far, I haven't had any appeals filed. But it's going to happen, and when it does happen, I hope I hope the Nevada Supreme Court or the appellate court makes good law. That they take my decision and make good law, whether or not they agree with me or they don't. I just want good law.
How do you think family court could better serve or support grandparents' rights?
Ooh, the statute needs to be changed.
I see.
The statute is a very high burden for the grandparents because it basically, it's whatever the parent wants. It's presumed that if the parent doesn't want the grandparent to see the child, that's in the best interest of the child. It's a presumption. And then that grandparent has to rebut that presumption. And it's a high burden. So I would have to say the statute would need to be changed.
In what way you think the statute could better serve? Or what way you
Let's
think
just lower that burden for the grandparents. I mean, grandparents are important, especially when we have grandparents that are raising children nowadays, that are taking over for the parents that can't raise the kids. And then if a parent becomes suitable, gets the child back, and then boom, cuts the grandparent off, you have a bond that grandparent and that child has had for I don't know how long, while that grandparent's raising the kid. I mean, I think we just need to lower that burden and not have this presumption that just because the parent doesn't want the grandparent to see the child, that's presumed in the best interest.
So remote hearings, blue jeans is what they call it. How effective is that? Is it more effective to have the litigants and the attorney before your court live in the flesh, or does it matter whether it's blue jeans or?
For me, it doesn't matter. The only time it matters is trials. For the trials, I like that to be in person because that way I can make sure that the witness is actually testifying to what their memory is. My fear with trials is that person could be getting coached by somebody off to the side, or that person could be reading something and you never know. So that's my only, other than that, I have no issues with, we moved to Zoom now. It's no longer blue jeans, but I have no issues with it.
It's no longer? What is
No,
it?
we moved to Zoom.
Oh.
It's Zoom now. It saves travel costs. Like with the RJC, you've got parking. People have to pay for parking, and why you got low-income individuals coming to try to go to court, and then they have to pay for parking, and that's a cost in itself. I have no issues as long as it's not a trial.
What do you think about cases being sealed? Should they be sealed? Are they sealed too often? Because I'm getting to SB 432 soon, but I just want your opinion on sealed cases. And do you have many?
I have tons of sealed cases, and I didn't seal them. They come to me sealed.
Oh, okay. What are the reasons? What's the main or most common reason?
I haven't been asked to seal anything. I think the most common would be to protect an individual's interest, but then you also have to weigh it against the public's interest and transparency. I have nothing to hide in my courtroom. I mean, come in and watch it. I don't understand why we have so much sealing. However, I would think some cases where it's delinquency, where the whole theory of a kid that gets arrested gets rehabilitated, and you don't want that arrest to follow the child into adulthood and mess up their adulthood. I can understand that. The sealing the cases of dependency when CPS comes in. You don't want that whole CPS history and abuse and neglect to follow that child into adulthood. With divorces, I think it's just, I really don't know how they get sealed. They just come to me sealed.
It's just to protect maybe somebody's reputation.
I guess, but I don't
want
have
people
any...
to know that they're not paying child support, or
I guess
our friend over there, forget his name, the attorney, but things like that. But now with SB 432 going into effect October 1st, a lot of the things that we talk about and advocate for some of these litigants, we won't be able to say unless, we'd be charged with felonies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the ACLU will jump in,
yeah.
and then it'll be
we got to call Arthur. Yeah.
I mean, it's quite the balance to weigh between the public interest, transparency, and then the protection of the litigants, and if this is something that should be viewed by the public. It's quite a balance.
So in dealing with child custody and visitation, when would you bring a child in and conduct a child interview? Well,
if you come and look at my calendar, you'll see I have designated spots for child interviews on my calendar.
Yeah.
I bring in children all the time and I talk to them.
At what ages do you start?
8 and up.
Okay.
And the reason why 8, because under Nevada law, an 8-year-old can be arrested and deemed competent to aid in their defense. So if an 8-year-old can do that, then an 8-year-old can tell me, have an opinion of where they want to live and who they want to live with. I bring them into my courtroom. It is taped. It is videotaped by JAVS. Mm-hmm. I ask both parties to provide me with up to 5 questions they want me to ask the child. Mm-hmm. I don't wear my robe. No.
Do you sit on the bench?
No.
Oh, you sit down there with the child?
I hope they sit on the bench.
Huh?
I let them sit on the bench. I bring them into my courtroom. I actually go out outside the courtroom, introduce myself, I bring them into the courtroom, show them the courtroom, introduce them to my marshal and my court clerk. And I tell them, you can sit anywhere you want in this courtroom. Where do you want to sit? And the ones that want to sit at the bench, oh, that makes me so proud. I love it. And then I sit down at the table and talk to the kid.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
How do you tell if the child is telling you the truth when you're asking these questions? I don't know what questions you might ask, but how do you tell a child is telling the truth, and how do you tell when the child is coached? Because some children might want to live with mom because mom lets them eat pizza and watch TV and don't supervise them at all, rather than live with dad because dad is a disciplinary one and wants to make sure they do their homework and da-da-da. So they don't like that because they got all that discipline over here, but they want to go with mom. I'm just using that as, general. How do you tell that?
So one of the first things is the language that the child uses.
Spanish, English, Japanese.
Well, I would be impressed if they used all three of or all of those languages. I'd be very impressed. No, it's their words that they use. Are they age appropriate words?
Gotcha.
If they're using words that are adult words, you know that they're picking those words up from an adult.
I see.
That's flag number one. And then you just ask them, like, what's your, do you ever get in trouble at home with your dad? Yeah. What are your consequences? What happens when you get in trouble? What happens when you get in trouble with mom? And then you just look at that, and it's just conversational. You can figure it out.
Do you have a CCW? My every question to every female judge.
No, I don't.
Kerri.
I am, yes, I know. In fact, you guys told me you were going to take me shooting.
Oh, you didn't ring-a-ding us.
Oh, was I?
We got
to
get Frank on board on the CCW. Frank, you hear that? Is he online?
Because I need to find a
we're
weapon
both
that I feel
CCW
comfortable with.
Carriers.
And I don't have enough experience. I'm not going to just walk in
you
and
need
buy
a
a weapon that
Little one.
I'd like to have practice first before I do that, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have
Absolutely.
anything you want to let us know about anything court?
Campaign.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to be running in 2026. I
Okay.
will file.
Okay.
I don't know. Vote for me in 2026.
Yeah. Do you have anything else for? And we want to make this interview short because TikTok picks it up.
Okay, that's fine.
But no, you were just on, and we think you're doing a great job on the bench. And
If I'm not, you better tell me.
don't you
Please,
worry.
thank
tell
you.
you.
Thank
No,
you.
tell you.
That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do is a good job. I just want to help these families, and they're in crisis. I really feel my heart goes out to these families.
Well, I'm glad somebody as compassionate and empathetic as you can be on the bench and be fair and impartial and be compassionate and help these people.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think your court calendar should go where your strength lays. So
I do a lot of child interviews, and you'd be surprised at how many cases get resolved after I talk to those children.
really,
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Because I talk to the kids, and then I bring the parties in, and I tell them my experience, and I'll let them know this is where the child wants to go. And next thing I know, we have a resolution.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
well, Judge Maxey, Mark is going to zoom in, and you could, whatever you want to talk about, vote for me, come to court on time. Here's my, what a point of contact you might have. I don't know if you have a website or anything like that.
No, I don't have a website yet. It's not coming yet, but my name's Kerri Maxey. I am the District Court Family Judge for Department N. I've been on the bench for over 7 months. 7 months. And family court is hard. Family court is people in crisis, families breaking up, children caught in the middle. And I just try to make sure that everybody in my courtroom remembers their humanity. Because people forget about their humanity when they're losing custody of their children. Thank you.
Well, Judge Maxey, thank you for coming on the program. Ms. Phillips, thank you so much. Folks, that's Kerri Maxey, Clark County District Court Judge, Department N. And we hope that this program was informative and that you take another look at Judge Maxey, because we think that she's doing a really good job on the bench. This is Steve Sanson, Stephanie Phillips of Veterans in Politics. Until next time.